Howdy, did you ever tell yourself I'm too old to be happy, or I'm too young to be happy, or I'm not old enough, or whatever? Well, then I've got a really cool story for you. Patients come to me with severe depression and anxiety. 100% of the time, they think it's the circumstances of their life that's screwing them up. And I'm sure you feel the same way. You might be thinking that you don't have the resources, you're not loved enough, you're not successful enough, you're not smart enough. And so it's impossible to be happy. But it's not the facts of your life, but your thoughts that cause your unhappiness. And those thoughts will always be a con. They're distorted, as you'll discover. But the cool thing is when you change the way you think, you can change the way you feel. Well, this guy came to me, and I was just learning cognitive therapy at the time. And so I got kind of stumped sometimes by my patients too, and I would get kind of hypnotized by them and believe what they were saying. And this man was saying he came to see me reluctantly because he was depressed and anxious, and he knew I helped people change their thoughts. But he said I wouldn't be able to help him because his thoughts were real and valid. And it was the reality of his life that was screwing him up, not some thought. And I said, well, what is it about your life that you're so upset about? And he said, well, you see, I'm getting old, and I'm in New York. I'm an advertising executive in New York City, and advertising is a game for young men. And I was fantastic when I was young, but now I'm older, and I've lost my creativity. All the younger guys are moving up. And I'm kind of over the hill, and I feel like my career, my life is over. And so, how are you going to help me? And I thought to myself, and I often feel this way when I first meet a patient, I was thinking, yeah, he really does feel kind of inferior and hopeless. And I always get that idea at first, and then I have to fight my way through that. But in this case, I was going to Dr. Beck's weekly cognitive therapy seminars, and I would always go and present a difficult case because he was a good consultant and had really clever ideas around this theme. Your thoughts, not your circumstances. That's what's causing your angst, whatever your negative feelings are. And so I presented the case, and I said, what should I do here? And Dr. Beck says, well, I think he's into all or nothing thinking either he's all, fantastic and making $600,000 a year, which in those days was a ton of money, but it was possible to make that in New York in, the advertising business, or now he's a nothing, as if he's gone from everything to nothing. But that's what his distortion is. And maybe you could ask him if he could be happy with maybe making 3/4 as much or half as much, but still being able to do good creative work. And maybe also he could change his job definition and spend more time mentoring the younger guys and giving them the secrets and the tricks of the trade and that type of thing. And he said, I'm going to check that out. And he came back the next week, and he was just filled with joy because he said that he had told the younger guys that I'm getting older, I'm kind of over the hill, and you guys are on the way up, and I'm really willing to mentor you and teach you what I know, even though I may be too old to compete with you, but I'd love to show you guys the way to success. And he said they absolutely loved it, and he became very relaxed, and he said he was happy with his new role, and he didn't need any further treatment. And when I tell these stories, people get pissed off because they say, oh, you can't cure people with severe depression in 1 or 2 sessions. And sometimes you can't, but often you can, and it's always such a neat thing. And so I never saw him again, but he gave me a call about 6 months later, and he said he wanted me to know that not only had his depression disappeared, but he got such a surge of creativity and fun working with the younger guys. He said that this was going to be his biggest financial year of his entire career. He couldn't believe it. He was just happier than you can imagine. So that's, again, the message here is your thoughts and not the circumstances of your life cause your misery. And when you're feeling depressed, anxious, angry, ashamed, lonely, inadequate, hopeless, humiliated, embarrassed, whatever you might be feeling, the odds are overwhelming that what you're telling yourself on some level just isn't true. The thoughts are distorted. His distortion was all or nothing thinking. That's what you see in perfectionism. If I'm not 100%, I'm a zero. That used to plague me as well. But when you change the way you think, you can change the way you feel. And if you'd like to learn how to do this in your life, because your circumstances will be radically different from his. Maybe you're 12 years old, or you're having trouble getting dates, or whatever. Well, that's my specialty. I'll show you how to wrap guys around your fingers in another video. But anyway, whatever is bugging you, you might want to check out our Feeling Great app. Because it'll show you how to change your thoughts. And we have a little AI there. It's like a little David, and we've trained it to be just like me. And it'll work with you and show you those distorted thoughts and help you turn them around. If you want to check it out at the link, I don't know, somewhere here behind me, you can just check it out and take a free ride and see what you think. And if you like it, you can buy your subscription. Or if you like it and can't afford it, we'd be just thrilled and delighted to give it to you for free. Just contact us, and that's no questions asked, no problem at all. And one last thing about age, once you see through your distortions, you see how they're pure malarkey. Do you have to be depressed just because you're old? I have found that getting old is one of the most awesome times of my life. Right now, I'm doing videos. I've never done this before. In fact, I had terrible camera anxiety from the time I was a little boy until about 2 years ago, when I finally got over it. And now I'm talking to an actual movie camera, which is a cool thing for me. And I'm also learning to talk to a wider audience and share ideas that I think can change people's lives. So this is the most exciting time of my life. So remember, you're never too young, you're never too old. But as long as you learn to love yourself and to talk to yourself in a kindly way rather than with these harsh, distorted messages, you can change the way you think. And when you do, you can change the way you feel.